see.
My mic is off. There, no, now it's on.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, you guys could not hear that awesome intro, and I apologize for that. It is a. My mic is off. There, no, now it's
You can
on.
hear yourself.
Yeah, I can hear it now. Let me take this phone call real quick.
Say what?
Hello. I don't know. Can't get the sound to work.
Huh. What?
Can you hear me now? Okay, we're working on it. All right. Yeah, we'll get it back on there.
But
I can hear you. I can hear y'all just fine. I can hear y'all now. Yes, we can hear you. Can hear you now. So I guess we'll just get into it.
okay.
So hey everybody, I am failed school board candidate Joe
Don't,
Preston,
don't, don't.
and I am here with
That would
David
be really pissing me off.
David Marshburn, who ran for sheriff, and David's got many things he wants to talk about regarding the 2022 Johnston County local elections and even the federal and state elections as well. So, David,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm going to let you go.
Let me go where?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay. So, um, I need to let you guys know something. Do you remember when we started talking about how write ins were going to be counted and they were going to be seen as they were going to be counted today? Well, they were counted today, but they're still counting them. So I don't want to mention a whole lot about that except for do you know where your ballots were every day after the election, after the polls closed and they got ready to reopen the next morning? Do you know? I almost want to say, do you know where the Muffin Man is? But do you know where your ballots were? Do you feel your ballots were secure? Do you feel like there was a chain of command with your ballots? Do you even care? I'd like to know some comments about that. If you care about what happened with your ballot and where it went. So drop some lines in, say yes, thumbs up, whatever, and I'm gonna let Joe kick it off. And depend on if y'all care or not, will depend on whether I reveal things or not. So, your turn.
Well, yes, we care.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Lots of thumbs ups.
What do I do now?
Well, I mean, I would go into what you were talking to me about before, because this is exactly what I was talking about during the primary election, on how that certain group went 16-0, and
Oh yeah, he rubbed it in your face that it's
and
26
and
and
that 27
27.
27-0 now. However, one guy did not win. He won in Johnston County, but not by the margin that he should have, and that would be Bo Hines, and we'll get into that later. But there is obvious corruption going on in Johnston County, as we've been saying for a long time, and I apologize for my voice and my sinuses. You're going to hear me sniffing a lot and all that, but it is what it is. Um, I would like to see some of the numbers that you were showing earlier,
Okay.
because this is exactly what I was talking about during the primary, and it has, and even after all of the efforts that many of us made to get with the Board of Elections, they still allowed things to happen, and we got the same thing happening in the general, and it was a bad day. I mean, it was a bad day. We had some bad people get elected. It's not good for the county. The bond passed. It's not good for the county. Uh, the numbers that you got are absolutely ridiculous, based off of handing out 30,000 and some whatever cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. You only got the numbers that you got. Now, and David will tell you, he was not expecting to win.
No.
But to only get what he got
Was amazing.
was an
To me.
absolute joke. So go ahead and try to describe what you want to describe here, David, on these numbers.
Okay. So right now we're looking at U.S. Senate federal race. These are total Johnston County voters that voted for, in each precinct. Total numbers who voted for who. Now, if we go down, here's what bothers me. Okay.
One stop voting.
One, stop voting.
That means the early vote. That means the 14, 15 days of early voting.
So if you take this federal race that's by itself alone, this is what kills me. You have the first section. Let me explain this too now. The first section, that's what, the Green Party. This is the Green. This is the second column is the Democrat. The third column is Libertarian, and the last one is the Republican. So the Green Party got 203 votes, and I didn't even know there was a Green Party until this election. I really didn't even think about it. I thought there was three. The Democrat came out and showed support for 16,524. The Libertarian 451, and then the Republican Party 21,685. Now, this guy Ted Budd is the most recognized person, especially for the Republican Party. No doubt about it. Whether I like him, not like him, it doesn't matter. He's well known, and he got 21,685 votes.
And typically in early voting, it is Democrats and older people that come out to vote during early voting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact that cannot be disputed. So, go on.
All right. So Ted Budd, received that many early votes, and then the Democrat got 16,524. Sherry Beasley?
Beasley, yeah.
Okay. Now, here's the interesting part. You got U.S. House of Representatives, District 13. You got someone with just as popular name as Ted Budd, and that's that Bo Hines, which I voted for Bo Hines.
Ted Budd was endorsed by Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Hines was also endorsed by Donald Trump. And you'll see at the end here that Bo Hines did win in Johnston County.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
But he did not win by the majority that he should have, because Bo Hines was screwed over by the Johnston County Republican Party, by Linwood Parker, by Dale Lands, by Daryl Mitchell, by putting out full page ads in newspapers because they wanted DeVan Barber in the primary.
Right.
And they didn't get DeVan Barber in the primary. And they were so upset about that, they still went against him during the actual general election. And I spoke to the Hines campaign and had them meet with grassroots organizations, had them at their houses, had many a meeting, and I told them, do not associate yourself with CAG. Don't associate yourself with Joco GOP, because if you do, you will lose. And look what happened. Because this race, District 13, is all of Johnston County. It's a part of Wayne County, a sliver of Harnett County, and a little bit of Wake County.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed to carry a big portion of Johnston County.
Yep.
And they didn't. And that's why Bo Hines lost. And I mean, I am not a political savant, but I knew, and then they hired Hal Weatherman, who was the campaign manager for the last lieutenant governor, Dan Forrest, who lost. And Hal Weatherman is great friends with Daryl Mitchell, and quite frankly, they don't like Bo Hines.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did not support Bo Hines the way that they should have to get him across the finish line. And that's why we had a losing Republican and Bo Hines to Wiley Nickel. Now, to some people out there watching, they're happy that Wiley Nickel, won, and that's fine. But it happened because our local party did not support Bo Hines the way they should have supported him. And that is the bottom line. Absolute bottom line. He should have won by a landslide and received a lot more votes than he received. He lost by 7,000 votes total.
Mm-hmm.
In all 4 counties. 7,000 votes. Because the Republican Party of Johnston County and CAG, which is the same thing as the CAG GOP, the CAG GOP screwed over Bo Hines just because they didn't like him. And that's what we get.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at something right now. I'm trying to do it real quickly because I know you want to move on to the next thing. 580.
You had a lot of good people out there that were working for Bo Hines. I mean, spending
Mm-hmm.
weeks and Saturdays and hours and, I mean, just so much time that were out there, but they didn't have the support from the Republican Party, and that's why we lost that.
We could have used him.
And this is what happened across the whole country when we were talking about this big red wave that was going to happen and all that, and the red wave obviously didn't happen. It looks like we are going to take control of the U.S. Congress, but The Senate is still up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You've got everything is up inflation wise over 10%. I mean, eggs are like 43% higher than they were before. Everything bread is like 15% up. I mean, it's incredible. But because the local parties have these vendettas against certain people, this is what happens.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you want me to do? Go on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to. Do you want to go to the district seats or judges' seats?
Go wherever you want.
No, it's whatever you want to do.
I'll follow along.
Okay. So, I know this is going to be a boring night for people. Sometimes it just is.
And all of you can go to the Board of Elections website of Johnson County to pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see precinct by precinct. When we get to the school board race, I'll really get into it. So here you see one stop voting, 21,000. I mean, once you see that kind of early vote
Mm-hmm.
versus the other person, it's over.
Yeah, but you should. Here's the thing: it's only gonna maneuver like 200-300 people, somewhere around there, maybe 1,000. It depends on what kind of race it is. But if you go on down, I mean, look at this race right here: Supreme Court Associate Justice Seat 5. Right? Look here, same numbers. I mean, they're pretty much tit for tat. Where we start getting screwed is, see, if he has 15, then that should be about 22. But soon as we get down to, I don't know, let's go down to, okay, right here. Well, that's District 11B. So is District 11B for everybody?
No, this is Tom Locke running unopposed.
Okay.
Which I don't even know
But
why.
that's the whole entire county, right?
Yeah, I don't even know why we have unopposed people.
But that's the whole entire county, right?
It is, but
Okay, so let's look at that. Look at this. I can understand that number being that unopposed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you understand this number? I'm going to go down. She did great. Can you understand? Look, Craig Olive. Right there. 26. How popular is he?
Mm-hmm.
We're going down to the sheriff. How he does have an opponent, but it is a write-in. Let's give him the credit. Does that look right?
It doesn't to me. With obviously, like I said before,
A lot of Republicans did not vote for him early voting. We know this.
You weren't expecting to win, but
No.
your vote total seems very, very low.
Well, he needs the Steve needs the accolades of 91%. He needs to win every time by that to seem like he's so popular and so wanted. And we found it rather odd that pretty much we were surveying the county by being out there at the polls. And how we would survey them is age. Would they take our card? Would they not take our card? We had some rude people. We had not so rude people. We had some that said, no, thank you. Got my pick. No problem. You have a second choice. But the Democrats took our cards and were voting for us because they didn't want Steve Bizzle.
Yes, they were. That was when I felt when I was at the polls working for you as well on that first Saturday, and then on voting day in the afternoon at the Church of Clayton Crossings. I thought for sure you were getting more votes than you were going to get. Now, like I said, we didn't think you were going to win. I mean,
Mm.
the fact that you're a write-in, I mean, being a write-in is very, very difficult.
Right.
But that total can absolutely not be right. Now, David disagrees with me on something. And he, just because I'm right doesn't mean he can't be wrong.
What does that mean? that's just total.
It means exactly what I just said.
Okay.
Just because I'm right doesn't mean you're wrong, or doesn't mean you can't think you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The voting guides, 100%. The voting guides, 100% did this.
Nope. Can't believe that.
Dickie Braswell, why don't you go back to his race?
Okay.
Dickie Braswell, an indicted, charged county commissioner for being a 73-year-old with a indecent liberties charge against a 13-year-old. The people voted for him, I think, 53,000 times?
50,000.
No, whatever the number is. If it was 5,000. Who would vote for a man that has an indictment on him for indecent liberties with a 13-year-old?
Well, who would vote for a sheriff that sleeps with his deputies' wives?
Well, wait,
and
that's listen. There's no charges on that. I'm talking about
Yeah.
actual factual.
I know factual proof.
I understand that, but this is in the public. Dickie Braswell has 50,058 votes. He got almost 24,000 in early voting for Dickie Braswell.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. A commissioner is districted off to 1/7 of the county. Yet the whole county is allowed to vote for that commissioner. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He gets 50,000 votes from the entire county, knowing that he's been indicted on a charge for indecent liberties with a 13-year-old as a 73-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible? Because a voting guide was mailed out with his name on it. David.
How many were mailed out?
Well, in the primaries, they mailed out, I believe, 20,000. So I'm guessing they mailed out more than that during the general.
Yeah, but how could they? Here's my thing.
But they did.
They can't get enough people to do a golf tournament. How in the hell are they going to get enough money to do this?
But they did.
How?
But they did.
What? Dale Lance, the felon, paid for it? Like you pay for everybody to be out there handing out the cards? What?
I don't know who paid for it. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Dale. I don't know that for a fact. But my point is 50,000 people voted for a man indicted for indecent liberties with a 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That's how corrupt this county is. And if we want to talk about corruption, let's say you voted for somebody and you went into the ballot and you I would say, an educated voter.
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait.
Whoa. Let's put this in context. Okay, so I'll go back to us. 21,000. Somebody that was backed by Donald Trump got 21,570 early votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dickie Braswell outdoes him.
Correct.
Bullshit.
Well, this is what I said before when the CAG voting guide during the primary went 16-0 in Johnston County. It's impossible. Without some sort of corruption, that is impossible. It's like going to Vegas and betting on all 16 Sunday NFL games and getting the spread right every single time.
Well,
It's impossible.
we're going to get to the corruption.
It's absolutely impossible. So for that to happen, well, it's like during the primary as well. Um, Patrick Harris got more votes than anybody else, and he only represents 1/7 of the county. Why would everybody else want to vote for Pat? Nothing against Patrick, just why would the entire county be so concerned about Patrick Harris's race? It's impossible. I can't wait to get to the school board
I've been wanting to push it.
and talk about what happened in the school board race and who got all the votes there and who finished fourth and who finished fifth and who finished. I mean, it's incredible. I'm so glad that I'm out of this now. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous what has happened. And so what I was going to say was, let's say you filled out your ballot and you're an educated voter, so you went in and said, you know what, I don't know about Superior Court District 4 or Superior Court District 6 or this dot. So you left those blank. And I don't know about this school board race, so you left those blank. I'm just here to vote for Ted Budd and Bo Hines. Well, then they take those ballots each night and put them in a box and drive them over to the Board of Elections, to Leanne's office. What is to say that there are all these blank, circles that haven't been filled out, that somebody just couldn't circle them in? I mean, I want to see the proof on that. I want to see the proof on the scanning machines that they used that couldn't happen.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying, and I'm fixing to show you. The corruption starts within the Board of Elections. How? Let me show you how. Everybody see that vehicle? That is the vehicle of someone who works at the Board of Elections. Why is that vehicle sitting there? That vehicle is sitting there because it's picking up ballots. The early voting ballots. Every single morning. All the employees go out, pick up the ballots, unsealed boxes, puts them in the vehicle, and drives off. And guess where they go? They go straight to Leanne Price's office. Now that the race is over, let's do brass tacks here. I have talked to the state board till I was blue in the face, and I was sick and tired of talking to them because they're not listening. They were supposed to call me back on this situation of, is this legal? They said no. The ballots cannot leave the precinct. It is illegal.
They have to stay at the precinct. There's a chain of custody that you have to have.
Now, the telephone conversation I had with Leanne was, we voted to get them at the end of early voting, not every day, but early voting on November 5th, seal them, transport them by a state trooper or the sheriff's office is what she said, which that's a conflict of interest. And we're going to take them over here to the satellite office that has a security system, and we're going to put them in a safe. That did not happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what happened. What happened is when the lady left that location, I waited in Smithfield for her to come by. She didn't go to another poll. She came by me. I got behind her, followed her right to Leanne Price's office. Well, there's no one watching, no one on the outside, Democrat, Republican, poll watchers. There's no one watching, but I am. And I'm videotaping across the street, and I can't see nothing but her vehicle behind some limbs. But I do see her get out and go in, and she had something in her hand. So I wait about 10 minutes. 10 minutes go by, I'm going in. Guess what she is sitting there doing?
Counting ballots.
Yeah. There's 2 stacks. There's one right in front of you. You look at it, and you're flipping it over. You're looking at it, and then you're setting it right here on the next stack. You pick up the next one. You look at it. You flip it over. You're setting them over here to the side. One stack from another. That's where your ballots went, people. You can tell me that you've got a tape on a recorder, on a machine that is keeping up with all this nonsense, right? And it can't be broken. Yes, the hell it can be broken because it had been broken. And then the machines go haywire and start not malfunctioning. Well, how do you fix that? Well, now we got ballots that we can remark. How do you think the Democrat tallies are smaller for the school board member? One school board member running for school board, Rick Mercer, got less votes
Early stop or one stop voting, as you'll see when we show
from
it.
the Democrats.
One stop voting is the early voting, and it is a fact, historical fact, that one stop voters are typically Democrats and older elderly people, whatever you want to call it.
So if you take the number of what he got, let me go back to it.
And it doesn't make any sense that he got less.
But I'm gonna show y'all.
But this is exactly what happened in the primary.
Let me show them. So here's Rick Mercer in the 3rd section. If you go down to early voting, 12,000 from what was it? 16,000 people that voted for mostly all Democrat. Democrat voted all Democrat. Take that number, that 4,000 something. Take it, add it to Rick Mercer's, and then deduct it from the next one that won. What was it? Michelle.
You've got Terry Tippett with 18. Going down. So Terry got 18,307.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Donovan got 15,348, and Michelle Antoine got 15,303.
Okay. So if you look at the number where Rick Mercer, the third one over, 12,393, and you add that 4,000 back to it, that went to Donovan or Michelle, you take those numbers and just like Mark Lane, I know some of them voted Mark Lane, some of them voted for Melissa Bowers. So look at all those low numbers. You mean to tell me Democrats voted mostly for Kevin Donovan?
No.
Mark Lane? No. Take those totals, add them up, and I guarantee you it's not right. Because a lot of people just marked, Rick Mercer in the Democrat Party.
Absolutely.
They only did one.
I mean, and they had a campaign to only vote for one.
Yes. So what that does, that allows 2 places to be added to Michelle and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math, people. Who is the one that was at the Board of Elections, who went to the poll, wound up at the Board of Elections, and was doing this, looking at these each and individual ballot?
Well, not only that, the other part of the CAG influence that I'm talking about is, and nothing against, and Melissa, I apologize. I'm going to talk about you a little bit here, but Melissa Bowers finished fourth, and Melissa was out there a lot with her children, but nobody had more signs out than Mark Lane for school board, and nobody was out there more than Mark. So for Melissa to finish ahead of Mark is a shock to me. Not that it matters. I mean, because it was going to be ADT the whole way.
Well, wait a minute. I wanted to finish this one little thing.
Okay.
Drum roll. You want to do me a drum roll? All right. So, okay. That's it. All right. The person that was actually doing these counting and looking at these ballots that was not supposed to, that it was done illegally, none other than Ronald Johnson's ex-mother-in-law. Hello?
You can't make this stuff.
You cannot make this shit up. The very one that has dirt on other people and could possibly have dirt on her or whatever, she's the one handling the ballots. Not only that, we got a director who has a son-in-law that's working for Steve Bezel, too. When is the bullshit going to stop? Damn it. I cannot write a better script than this.
No, but it sucks for the people of the county. I mean, no, it's a great script. I mean, it'd be a great movie.
Oh, do we need to do another Netflix series?
Yeah. It could be a great movie. Believe me. But, I mean, it sucks for this county. You know, now we've got, the bond passed when we don't have an immediate solution for schools. So we've got something that's going to be ready for 3 years down the road if they even do what they said they're going to do with the bond. Mm-hmm. But we don't have an immediate solution. And we've got some terrible people that got elected that are just going to cause more and more drama and push the whole Ronald Johnson thing even further. And I mean, I'm just telling you, Tuesday was a terrible day for Johnston County. It was a terrible day for Johnston. We both knew that you probably weren't going to win, so I'm not surprised at that. But everything else was just, I mean, terrible. And if you are a Republican in this county, you really have to look at getting rid of the entire leadership of this county.
One person said, talk about conflict of interest. It's all conflict of interest.
Yeah. But Daryl Mitchell has to go. I said it last time. He's a bumbling fool.
No, they're bullies. Actually,
he's got to go.
Dale Lands went up on Janet Rates and went over her to talk over her, which she should have slapped the false teeth out of his mouth. But he got her so pissed off, she started crying and wanted to demolish him. I mean, that's how mad she got.
He's got to go. The CAG group has to be somehow dissolved. Dale Lands has to go. All these people got. I mean, if anybody wants to have a fair shot at anything, if you want an actual free and fair election,
they told me
these people have to go.
Somebody told me that we really need to look into Daryl Mitchell in 2020 when something about him doing something illegal, and pretty much he got away with it. And how did he get away with it? I don't know.
I think a lot of people are
getting
away with a lot of illegal things right now, but that's just me. I mean, why Ronald Johnson is still on the school board? Why that hasn't come out yet?
Why is the school board a nonpartisan race when you got people out there saying, do you want the Republican ticket, Johnston County backed Republican conservative ticket? Tell me something. Please, 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 for the love of God, tell me this. A conservative is someone who is morally and lawfully an upstanding person that morals and the law are hand in hand, and they're pretty much not anywhere near liberal at all. So tell me how you have Steve Bizzle on a ticket as a conservative, knowing the things he's done. Ronald Johnson, same thing. You got people that are supporting Ronald Johnson. How can they be conservatives if they're supporting the wrong moral things? Tell me. How's that conservative?
I don't know.
I'm more conservative than all of them. I can tell you that.
I don't know. I mean, you know, you can be moral as a liberal. You just have different views on probably mostly social things. I mean, there are some liberal people that are conservative on like fiscal responsibility. They're more liberal on the social policies. But I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
But getting into this, the bottom line is this.
Oh, yeah, Dickie, too, Angie. Thank you.
The bottom line is this. There is corruption, big time, in the voting process in this county. I don't know how we prove it. I know that a lot of people are trying to work on proving it, going to meetings, watching the counts, doing the things that they can. But the things that we can't do is follow a chain of custody of ballots. I mean, I remember when Michelle Antoine received, a U.S. mail delivery at the Church of Clayton Crossings of a bunch of the yellow cards that were put in the back of her car during the primary. And it was like, why is the U.S. mail coming to contact Michelle Antoine to give her the golden tickets? And my God, if I hear golden ticket again, I mean, I might go insane. These are not golden tickets. They might be today, because obviously if you were on them, you won. In Johnson County, anyways. Bohines did not. But it's sickening that the number of people, because that's what you guys, I don't think it has really resonated with people. The number of people that voted on these people to be on these voting guides is less than 10. And they decided who became your elected officials. Less than 10 people decided who became your elected officials. And that should scare the hell out of you. And that's why I'm saying, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it till I'm dead, we should not have any 50-foot line, 2,000-foot line, any line to be able to be near the polling locations. And voting guides should be absolutely illegal. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who to vote for, don't go out and vote. It's that simple. Do your own damn research and then go vote. You don't need some 20-some-time convicted felon to tell you who to vote for. You don't need a bumbling fool that runs the Johnston County Republican Party to tell you who to go to vote for. Mm-hmm. You don't need Joe Preston to tell you who to go vote for. You don't need David Marshburn to tell you who to go vote for. You need yourself to go to tell who to vote for. I mean, figure it out, people. We are a republic. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. And if you don't understand that now, you'll never understand it. Go do your research. Try to get through all of the bullshit that these Republicans and Democrats and everybody will tell you. Get through that. Pick out the pieces that make sense to you. And if you feel like, you know what, I think I want to give this guy or this gal my vote, then do it. And that's it. If you don't understand a certain race or the people that are in it, you know what, doggone it, I didn't look up. the Supreme Court or the Superior Court District 6 race. Skip it. Don't vote for it. Don't just take these guides and just go right down them because they are run by super PACs. They're run by political groups locally. Don't be an idiot because that's what you're doing right now. You're being idiots. We had people writing in people's names that were already on the ballot.
They wrote Method Man.
Don't be an idiot. No, we had people for school board writing in Kevin Donovan's name. Kevin Donovan was on the ballot. Don't be an idiot. Do your own research and then go and vote for people. My goodness. I'm not done. I'm not done.
I just got something in.
Hold on a second. We'll get to it in a minute. We were founded because we did not have representation from England. And that's what everybody got upset about in the colonies. No taxation without representation. And so we wanted to have our own say. And they said no. King George said no. And so what happened? We had an uprising. And we got this guy, some random guy, George Washington. And he said, okay, we're going to fight. And we won. Don't be stupid. Don't throw all of that away. 250 years almost have passed since that happened. Don't throw all of that away because you just want to listen to this BS. Do your own damn research. And then go vote. And Dale Lands and CAG, you can kiss my ass.
That's Dale. Look at him.
Oh, I'm sure he's dancing like that right now.
That's what he looks like. Fat bastard.
I'm done. I'm done. This is so stupid what has happened. And I'm so disappointed in the voters
can just dictate what goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, who cares? We've been trying to tell you. I've been trying to tell you for a year. Others have been trying to tell you for longer than that. Do your research, people.
Now, am I upset that I lost? No, because I knew I was. What I'm really not understanding is how no one cares where their ballots went. Ballots are what matters, not the damn tape. Now, you know those little USB little things? That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we had those that got gone, that are now locked.
Well, yeah, because every time you take that ballot and you put it into the machine, right? Let me see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. You put it into the machine. You put it in the machine. It's going to scan everything. And they've got a little USB thing that shows every one of those. So I wonder if those USBs will show what the actual ballots look like. That's why I don't understand why the ballots had to be taken someplace else.
Well,
if you've got this, scan through the machine on a USB, why do you need to take the ballots someplace else to count them?
Because when you redo it and stick it back in that machine.
No. I know why, David.
You know why.
I'm just saying, what in God's name is going, and I apologize, God. What in heaven's name is going on that this is okay and we're just going to let it go?
We shouldn't.
I'm fired up.
Well, you want me to give a little jingle to the ones that took this CAD card or asked for it. You got a voter guide? You want me to play a song for them?
Well, hell, you might as well.
This is the perfect song for them.
Full screen and I'll wink at you. I'm your
saying I'm your puppet?
I'll do funny things if you want me to. I'm your puppet.
That might be the worst song selection you've ever done on the show.
Dude, that is a classic.
Okay.
You never heard of it?
Let's ask the public if that's a classic.
That is a classic, dude.
Public, is that a classic?
Thumbs up if it's classic.
I'm not seeing a thumbs up.
Hold on, it's on a delay.
I'm not seeing a thumbs up.
Look at look.
Oh, Angie, you can kiss it. I'll tell you that right now. Angie's never heard that song in her life.
How about this one? This one gets me in a good mood all the time.
When this old world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs and all my cares just drift.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Somebody, so first off, I'm not from the South, so I don't know beach music. But somebody said it's no Radio Gaga, and I'm with you on that, sir. Jeremy Bird, it is no Radio Gaga by Queen.
You don't know this song either?
No, I don't listen to beach crap. Beach music to me is Jimmy Buffett.
Dude, that's the Drifters. That's not beach
music. Beach music to me is Jimmy Buffett and Bob Marley, okay? Now, if you want to play a song, play Radio Gaga by Queen. That is a great song.
What was it?
Radio Gaga. All I need is some Radio Gaga. Radio Goo Goo. Radio Gaga. Sorry, Angie.
No.
Yes, it's Freddie Mercury. It's Queen.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather play this.
Oh my gosh.
You're smiling.
I am not smiling. Is this Boy George?
Culture Club, baby. And Boy George.
Will you please, real quick, just give me a quick Queen Radio Gaga, and then we can move off of this? Here we go. Yes. Those are one of the greatest performers of all time. One of the greatest bands of all time. Absolutely. Yes. Do you have the video up? You're lying. I can see it in your glasses. Radio.
All right, that's enough.
All I need is Radio Gaga. Radio Goo Goo. Radio Gaga. You're welcome, everybody. Well, David, besides being...
I will put him equal to this.
Oh, Toto?
Yeah.
No! No! Not even close. This is a good song.
Yeah.
But it's not close to Queen. I mean, they do put Kilimanjaro and Serengeti in the same lyric.
I hear the drums echoing tonight. She hears only whispers of some.
Oh boy.
Right.
So I guess we're just going to turn into a music show. Next week we'll have my favorite hits. Oh boy. So what else do we have to talk about except for the terrible Tuesday night?
Well, we got to have something to lighten the mood after all this bullshit that went on with the
Yeah.
fake election or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's BS.
Fake election, I think, is a good word. That's probably what you should have put as our title. The fake Joco election. Which I think has been happening for a couple years. And there's been
Well, how about this?
some people working on that. What is your thing with freaking Boy George?
What's your freaking thing with Queen?
Come on, chameleon. Jesus God. Shut this off. Oh, I can't even listen to it.
I can't either. God.
That's so bad.
Oh.
I remember when they tried to do that in Wedding Singer. Ugh. All right, people. I think we're George Michael.
Wham!
Jitterbug. Jitterbug.
All right, we're done.
Hey, I tell you what. One more song, just because it's such a great riff,
Okay.
and it might be something for people to end off, good on. Do the opening of Eminence Front by The Who. Now, here's the thing. He's going to ask me how to spell eminence.
No, EMINENCE or something like ANC or ENCE. Let's see.
Eminence
Hold on.
Front by The Who. This is a great opening riff. Next week we will enjoy the silence of Dave Matthews Band. Oh yeah. I mean, this is good right here.
That song cut us off, but we're still rolling.
Look at your phone.
What?
Look at your phone.
What about it?
I don't know. I was just told to tell you to look at your phone.
I'm looking at it. Do me a favor.
Oh, I might have to read this.
What?
Hold on. Let me read this real quick. Okay, so it looks like Derail Mitchell sent out a text. I'm going to read it.
I didn't see it.
It says, "Dear Joco Republicans, the Joco GOP Executive Committee has made the decision to postpone our November monthly meeting until December. Candidates and volunteers are exhausted. Oh. Plus, we're all picking up signs as required by law." Wait, you're following the law now? Well, that's good. "Our headquarters is disorganized from events and signs and the floor that need to be organized and distributed back to candidates. The chairman and executive committee will organize a monthly meeting and victory celebration for December. We have much to celebrate. Republicans won every race on Election Day." No, they didn't. Bo Hines didn't. The first time that has happened, 27-0. Think about that. Think about that. The first time that has happened, 27-0. It's called corruption, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be organizing days to pick up signs around the county and empty headquarters. Be on the lookout.
Why didn't they just pay somebody like they've been paying somebody?
Hold on now. I'm not done. Planning now for 2024. Hey, Daryl, telling you right now, you're not going to be there in 2024.
Nope.
So I wouldn't be playing anything. Because there's
And you fat ass Dale Lands will be gone too.
there's some people that are probably going to be replacing you quickly. So, anywho, cool. Joco GOP Proud, also known as CAG GOP. With that, we will say hasta la vista, and Mr. David Marshburn, future sheriff of Johnson County, will say a prayer.
No. Say the prayer. I'm doing something right this second, please.
Well, I can't say prayer if you're doing something because you got to be a part of the prayer.
Say prayer, and I'll do it easy.
Oh my gosh! All right, everybody, bow your heads, close your eyes, no peeking. Lord Heavenly Father, we're hoping for a different result on Tuesday, but your will is more important than anything that we would ever aspire to. Sometimes it's difficult for us to understand why you want to do the things that you do, but we know that it's always going to be for the better for all of us. So we thank you as always. We love you as always. And Lord, just help us all understand where we are really going, and to keep us on the right track, to be what you want us to be and not what others want us to be. And we love you so much, and we pray all of this in your precious, immaculate name. Amen.
Amen. I was trying to pull it up, but there was something here about again, the Trey Walters guy who did a complaint on our Facebook Live and our YouTube.
Yes.
And YouTube stuck it right back in his face and said, it's fair use. I don't know how you can believe it's not fair use.
Yeah, he recorded a public hearing, and it was the only recording, and he tried to say that we couldn't use the public hearing, but it was a public hearing.
And he got upset and said, he called me a biatch.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, what? Am I going to deny it? No. I mean, what good is it to deny it? I think I said something else in front of it. I gave it an adjective of the biatch.
You added an adjective.
But he said, but he called me a biatch, and I'm like, yeah.
I don't know Trey Walters from a hole in the wall.
Well, just know, Trey Walters, you have made probably a bad enemy. I could give two shits of what you think about me, about Joe, but I can tell you something.
What, is he saying stuff about me?
Oh, God. Dude,
I don't even know this guy.
Trey Walters, let me tell you something. You threaten me with lawyers, fine. I don't care. Threaten me all you want. I mean, you have
I've
no
never
idea.
said one thing about Trey Walters.
But he has no idea who he's trying to come after when he has all these skeletons in his closet that I can actually, if he really wants me to, he can get charged 2 or 3 more times if he wants to.
Well, last thing I want to say is
Screw him.
before we leave is, David, next time before we do a show, can you please do your hair?
My hair was done. The wind blew it.
Something blew it. All right. We out?
I guess. Well, just know that this was a little easy podcast about the 2020 election. But after the votes are counted tomorrow, I don't know if we'll do another one before Thursday, but we're going to try and do one every Thursday at 7 o'clock. So that way we can be on a straight over and over and over again. And then, but we are going to give you, you know, that photo I showed you of the vehicle. No, we're going to give you more than that. We're going to give you all the proof and show you all the proof. And if I was you guys, I would be pissed and I'd file a petition. I know several candidates that are going to file a petition, and I don't blame them. The county needs to file a petition. Your vote should count.
And remember next time in 2024 to really pay attention to the primaries.
And I might run for school board just to fill some time in. You know,
Yeah, you got nothing else to do.
Ronald threw out a challenge out there about, well, I got 53,000 votes. Nobody can outdo me. If you think you can, run for school board. Well, just might do that, Ronald Johnson.
Primaries, people. Primaries. It's more important than the general.
I don't think he'll be there.
That's where you really can pick the people that actually then go run in the general. Don't skip the primaries. I'd rather see more people vote in the primaries than in the general, because there's more people that are able to be voted on in the primaries. And, you know, me being a student of government my entire life, I didn't realize that until I got involved. Primaries are where it's at. That's where you really got to do your due diligence and homework. But don't take a voting guide. And I'm going to do everything I can to get those things banned, at least in this county. We can't have voting guides. We can't have voting guides. Let people go out and vote for themselves. If you want to have an R or a D by your name or whatever, or an I, that's fine. But you can have signs out there, but you can't have people out there harassing people at the polls. I mean, we had cop cars called out to Clayton Crossings the other night. You can't have people out there harassing at the polls, and these voting guides are getting out of control, and it's literally destroying the county. I'm done.